In the last episode of Oakwood Zoo, we added all of the Barnyard Animal Pack animals in a giant Oakwood Petting Zoo. In this episode, we finish off the petting zoo with adding a bunch of animals from the game already prior to that, like lemurs, the fallow deer, armadillos, skunks, and the prairie dogs. I will run you guys through everything I built in the last 2 weeks. I promise it is nothing but detailed enclosures. And hopefully we have a good time touring through the entire petting zoo. I hope you'll enjoy. Let's get right into it. Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Oakwood Zoo, and this is actually the sequel to the Oakwood Petting Zoo episode a couple weeks back. So in the last episode, again 2 weeks ago, we built for all of the Barnyard Animal Pack animals, for all 7 of them, and this time we are back with the rest of the petting zoo. I didn't finish because I wanted to save a bit of the zoo for animals that we already had in the game that could also be part of the petting zoo. So in this episode, I'll showcase the additional animals I've made enclosures for. So we have in total for the petting zoo, we have the animals in the barnyard pack, which are 7, and you also have, I've made enclosures for the armadillo, the skunk, fallow deer, lemurs, and guinea pigs, but they're really black-tailed prairie dogs. And we also have a couple smaller enclosures that are implied, like for implied creatures like ferrets or whatever like that. But I think in total that's like about 15 species, I guess. So let's go in here. So if you watched the last episode, you would have seen, if we just take a quick overhead view here, you would have seen all of this area. So this entire section, this middle part, was all in the first episode, which you can see if you click the top link in the description, or there should be an iCard popping up in the top right. So if you want to check that part of the petting zoo out, then go ahead. But you'll already notice that this is very different than when we entered last time in the last episode. We now have this kind of cool aviary kind of meshing or mesh cage kind of thing. Also, I'm just gonna put this as blank because I forgot to do the education boards. You'll see these in the cinematic shots. We'll have a very long cinematic shots area at the end of the video. So these are for, I guess, implied kind of bird enclosures. You have these cool broken like branched kind of things like perches for the birds to sit on. I don't know what kind of birds would go in here, maybe like budgies or some small friendly bird. And I kind of reused, I think it was, I can't remember where this is from. I used these kind of cages for another enclosure. I can't remember. I'll put it. I'll reference it in the description if I remember it. But these are basically just what I normally use for backstage stuff. You have the mesh panel and then duplicating it over and over again to have this really cool kind of chainy aviary kind of thing. It's kind of it does look a little boxy to me, but it is what I was going for. I looked at a lot of different inspiration stuff from especially just Goran. I mentioned him in the last video about his inspirational videos, real life zoos, and they're definitely, I'm going to mention them again because they were very helpful. A lot of the zoo, a lot of the buildings were inspired by that, because he basically makes what are those things called? Compilations. Sorry, I lost the word there. He makes compilation videos of a bunch of different enclosures for a single animal in each video. So there's going to be 10 goat enclosures in one video, or 5 Nile monitor enclosures, and it's really useful because it's actually referencing real life zoos, and they're some of them are really cool. And I definitely take inspiration from them for a lot of this. So, this is our outdoor view of these. You have our little staff gate that can come in here. I figured the keepers couldn't climb through this window to go clean the outside, so I figured I had to put a door in there. But for this, they can climb through. Actually, no, just joking. They do have a door here on the outside. So this is for, I guess, bunnies. I guess. Again, I don't know what this exactly would be for. It could be for a ferret. I put the house thing in here from the chicken coops. Or from the chicken coop, hoping that maybe a ferret could probably use that. That's what I guess it would be. I don't know if this is big enough for a bunny enclosure, but either way we don't have either of them, so it doesn't really matter. So let's go around and we're going to be touring all the backstage stuff. A lot of it's going to look similar. I used a lot of the same kind of stuff. You'll see these everywhere, you'll see these tables everywhere, but I just figured it was nice to show just backstage stuff. Pretty simple. Got regular foliage, this little ramp thing, and that reminds me, I will show you guys right now. Let's go here. these are all the blueprint. These are all the main pieces I used for the petting zoo. Like while building it, you've got here. We'll just put some soil down here to make it a bit flatter, so you can see. We've got the planters. We've got we got planters. You got metal ones. You got wooden ones. A lot of backstage stuff. You have the feeders, the water trough, realistic hay feeders attached to a wall, just like an outdoor one. Table, chicken nests, like chicken area thing. Stable doors that I use in like almost all the hoof stock enclosures at least. This I don't even know what this is. I just put in the chicken enclosure because it looked cool. We've got the chicken house that I custom made last episode. We've got some nature stuff. You've got like these big patches that are really useful for like doing some quick like grasslands and stuff. Those are definitely useful for like making things like the sheep and the goats and stuff and all those ungulates. We've got a pile of twigs. This may look confusing at first, but it's what I use to do like the moats and stuff. Here, I can just show you guys. And the moats for like the alpacas in the last episode. So that can hopefully be useful to you guys. I also used that. I also included this moat piece. We've got fences of all kinds. We got a glass fence, wooden fence, like this like plastic kind of fence. The stalagmite mud walls, I guess. Yeah, and like a bunch of small things like ramps and the decal pieces. And this is actually, if you didn't notice, a decal piece. Oh. So all of this stuff is in one big pack that I released on Friday because I did feel bad because this video was supposed to go out last Friday, but it's now way overdue, and I'm very sorry about that. I had a busy week this week and last week, and this was obviously a lot to get done. It's 5 more enclosures. So I tried to do the best I could. So to make up for it, I released this a bit early. I was going to release this when I released the petting zoo on the workshop, but I decided to treat you guys a little bit earlier and give you guys this stuff. So hopefully you can use that if you're making your own petting zoos, or some of this stuff is even useful for just regular speed builds, or sorry, just regular enclosures. So hopefully that'll find useful. You can you can hit the link in the description. One of those links and stuff, I have like a bunch of them in the description. One of those will take you to the Steam Workshop, and you can download that for yourself and use that stuff in your own zoos. So hopefully that at least kind of lets you guys forgive me for taking so long to upload this. But we also have, anyway, back to the tour. We also have more backstage stuff. I don't know why this is here. Let's just quickly fix this. Take some foliage out here. There you go. Good enough for me. We have our like inside kind of thing for whatever bird this was. I don't know. And then this door obviously leads to the outdoor. Okay, we're on a roof now. This door obviously leads to the outside one. So let's go back. Let's go out of here. So we're not gonna go this way because this was in the first episode. We've got some nice foliage here just against the thing. Again, I'm showing how sloppy I am with the back of this. I'm very sorry. It'll be fixed before it goes on the Steam Workshop, I swear. So let's go into the next enclosure, which we have the guinea pigs enclosure, which I say guinea pigs, this is actually the black-tailed prairie dogs, because we don't have guinea pigs. I would have loved to got a guinea pig in the new pack, but you know, it's unfortunate. We also have the backside to the backstage. I really try to use windows more in the backstage stuff to give it more like an open feel. These people have like the most craziest reactions I've ever seen. So like this one's like, what is that? Anyway, also I forgot to mention, if you remember last episode, that I made custom education boards for all of the barnyard animal pack species, and I also made these with the species I made for this episode. So the species that I'm building for in this episode also have their own education boards, which you can also download in the description. Hit the link that'll probably say like info boards download or whatever, and then you can follow that link, save the image, you're good to go. So looking at the actual enclosure, this was inspired by one of my actual local zoos. Kind of local zoos. I also got some inspiration for the barn, kind of like wooden shelter, from a Just Coron video. This is inspired by my own petting zoo, because this, especially this part, because my own local zoo has a rabbit like walk-in kind of enclosure for the kids, and they have this kind of like slope, basically like this, like a cutout for the kids to just step over and just go right in. So instead of needing a gate, you just need like this kind of like small curb kind of thing, and they can just hop over. And I really like it because it separates the like it doesn't let the animals escape, but it also pretty easy for the kids to get in here. I also made this, which was also inspired by my local zoo. I remember when I was a kid and I went there, there was always like like a really small area for the bunnies to like hide inside that the children couldn't get into. Now, a child probably could sneak under here. The bar was originally a lot lower, so the prairie dogs could only get in here. But the prairie dogs, thanks to the game's hefty traversable area requirements, they couldn't get in there, and they still can't, so I don't know what I'm doing. But we have these cute little shelters. Oh god. Yeah. I'll just go over top here. We have the cute little shelters here, just so the guinea pigs to like kind of cruise in. Also, I forgot to make this, obviously. This is I'm super slow. This is a very rushed voiceover, so I'm very sorry about that. This is the only way. Sorry, this is the only like time I have at the moment to do a voiceover, so I gotta make do with what I got. Alright. So there's that. So that's kind of just like a shelter for the guinea pigs if they don't want to be with the staff or like actually inside the barn. But if we do actually go inside the barn, I love this. This is probably one of my favorite details I actually thought of, especially for like a bunny enclosure. Obviously this is guinea pigs, but same difference. And it's like a heat lamp kind of thing. So they have like a ramp that they can go up and lay in the hay. And this is actually something I recently figured out after I did the first petting zoo video, is that the bedding and the actual bedding, I'll show you guys. This bedding actually is kind of it's okay, but if I figured out that if you combine like the saltwort bush into like flat and just make like a few of them into one group, it actually looks really convincing hay. The one problem with this, though, I will say, if you ever try to use it, is that the saltwort bush is very sensitive with the traversable area of the animals. So the traversable, it will mess with the traversable area a lot. They won't go near it. You'll see it. They can't go over top of it, which is a shame. I wish they would fix this because there are some plants that they can go straight through, but unfortunately, it doesn't work for this one. So if it depends on really what you want to do. If you really don't care that much about if they actually use it, then use it. If you don't, sorry, if you want them to use the bedding, then use the original bedding. It's up to you. Alright, again, with these tables and stuff, not really much to see. I'll be kind of like slimming over the backstage stuff because it's very similar to each other and like all these different things. So let's move on. Again, quickly, let's just go into the backstage, just get this part over with. Pretty self-explanatory right here. Let's go out. So this next enclosure is for the skunk. And this is a bit different in design. Again, custom education board, you're welcome. Again, you can see I used some of the same stuff, like the tree guards, what do you call this? Like a moat, I guess. The moat piece, I guess I used it more as a wall in this one. But I made a new barrier for this one, and it's the glass one. And again, I can see even more how sloppy I am with this, like the curb, like the corners and stuff. I will fix this, I promise. I swear. Before it actually goes live. Yeah, you can see our skunks here. Just kind of chilling. Let's see if we can get a better view, maybe. Maybe not. I can move this guy out here. Uh-oh. Oh. He's zooming. There he goes. I also use these kind of like cool baskets that I think were from, I don't think it's the Africa pack, but it's just like an African set of pieces in the base game. Oh, look at him. He's playing with the tennis ball. How adorable. Alright, so that is that. Again, we have our little indoor area for them. They can see they can go inside. Yeah, custom education board if you're interested. There you go. Top link in the description, or a link in the description. I don't know. Also, I like the I really like this. I'm ashamed I didn't use this more often, like this back wall. I tried to use like the roots and the decals. I don't know if you can see a decal here. Yeah, I can see one actually. It's right back here. Yeah, just using like the same, putting a decal and then making it almost like the same color as the actual wall background makes it like kind of unnoticeable, but it also, if you really like take a deep look into it, it actually looks like different. And I think the point of this is to just make it look like either damaged or just like unique, so it doesn't look like you copied and pasted the same wall over and over again. By adding the decals, it kind of makes it look different. Now there is a weird thing going on with the decals when there's a shadow. They look really good when it's in the light, which unfortunately this habitat isn't, which is also why I kind of avoided this area in general of the zoo, because the sun does not shine very well in this area, which is really a shame. But we're not going to get too many good light angles from the new enclosures, which is a bit sad. But, you know, Whatevs. So let's move on. Where should we go next? We should probably see the front half of the armadillo enclosure. So this is... Actually, we didn't even see the armadillo enclosure. So this is our armadillo enclosure. Look how cute they are. They're adorable. Got these guys. We have 2 of them in here. And I did use the dome. I didn't actually have the dome entrance because the dome entrance is humongous. We can take a look here. Like, how am I supposed to hide that? Like, come on. That's just ridiculous. We can still see from the habitat, like the dome, which does look really cool. But unfortunately, guests can't actually use it, which is a bit of a shame. But I can use it, so you know what? I don't care. Alright, so let's go back in here. Again, another new fence. It's kind of based off of the skunk one. We just use glass. And I think this is like a, yeah, the Indonesian stained timber pole at the top. These are actually really useful. These are like one of my very most recent poles I've been using. And I think it's specifically because the size. This is 0.5, so most beams and like most poles come in like 1 meter, 2 meters, or 4 meters, but this one actually comes in 0.5, which is very interesting and it's very amazing because I can use that for even smaller details, stuff like this, which is great. But yeah, overall, foliage is basically the same. Armadillos seem happy in here. We can take a quick look into the backstage. Again, pretty bland. Again, just like our regular other backstage enclosures. We have the chickens, which we had before. Not really anything's changed from there. And I really like this. This is something it's something I really recommend you guys do for like realistic. If you really want to get realistic, is the decals, because decals are just amazing. Like I mentioned earlier, because without them, things can look really blocky. They're really good for like blending stuff. So taking that and then blending it with like the soil, it almost looks like it's really like the dirt is like coming onto the concrete, and it gives this really rustic, like dirty kind of vibe. And it's really nice. I like it. It's really good. Alright, so we've got our skunks here. We've got our armadillos here. Guinea pigs are back there. Let's move on. We only have 2 enclosures left, so this is going to be a quicker video. I know the other episode was like 40 minutes, but that was like 7 enclosures, and this is only like 5. So now we're coming up to the next enclosure, which is our ring-tailed lemurs. Which if you've been following along with the House of Tropics series, you might recognize this cage. And this was the cage I used for the clouded leopards. It was obviously a lot bigger. I kind of shrunk it down here. The curves on the sides are more sharp because obviously lemurs are smaller than clouded leopards. And I didn't think they needed that much room. I don't think this is enough room for them and like following the space requirements. But considering this is kind of like a smaller, low budget kind of zoo, then I'd say it's okay. We got our lemurs here. Foliage is pretty self-explanatory. I think a combination of dead tree things from like Caesar Creates this pack you can download in the workshop. Like this stuff was from Caesar Creates, and then I also made my own custom like actual like man-made. Oh, we're on the roof again. Man-made kind of like ledges and stuff like that for the lemurs to go off of. I tried my best. It was hard. I originally had like a tower thing here for them to like make it look more natural, but it didn't really work because they ended up on the roof. So I had to scrap that and just have this kind of like fire pole, I guess. And then we also have a couple windows. I decided to go the extra fancy route with this shelter, and we have like an indoor viewing, which is really nice. Yeah, we'll get a better view of this on the inside here. We can just quickly bow through. Again, same props as last time, but I had to make like a custom like tall fence here. I think it turned out pretty good. I don't really like making backstage for like really tall fences and stuff like cats, because I feel like I just never do good in those. I'm better with the smaller animals that can't climb. But I think this turned out pretty good. I like it. I don't know if it's completely realistic, but it's overall I'm satisfied. So let's get out of the staff area and let's go around, and we'll see this. And you can see I tried to hide this by putting one window closed. So like if you're looking from here, great. If you're looking from here, I had to put that in somewhere, so it just, yeah, it's annoying. You can't have like invisible gates, but I understand why. Unfortunate. So we'll come up to our final enclosure in a second. I just wanted to show a couple things that I did to upgrade the enclosures I showcased last time. So last time we did not have, this is the Highland cattle, sheep, and the swan enclosure. Last time we did not have a backstage. Now it is officially implemented. Most of the ungulate backstage areas are going to look pretty much exactly the same. Oops, we have that there. Same thing like stable doors, clipboards, buckets, tables, all this stuff, all that good stuff. It looks decent. Again, some odd stuff that I couldn't like put somewhere else. It's annoying, but you know, it has to be there. I think this turned out pretty good. It looks nice. Yeah, so let's get out of there. And I also added windows to the other side. So normally we just had the windows on like the animal side, but I also added windows now with the planters, just to make it feel like a bit more is happening on the side of the things. Very plain backstage area here, like this little walkway thing. And then we come up to the next enclosure, which we'll get to in a second. But we have to go back to where we were with the lemurs. So this is our lemurs. And let's go through here. You can see a sneak peek here. And we can go up this little walkway to our fallow deers and swans. Again, swans aren't really supposed to be living here, but they live in the area, so they just kind of pop by. So I figured the two enclosures with water in them, I should have put like the swans in it, and I think it worked. We have a couple swans. They look really nice. So this is supposed to be our fallow deer enclosure, or I guess you could say the white-tailed deer if you wanted to. I don't know. I don't really care. I feel like white-tailed deers fit in more with petting zoos, but either one works. It almost looks exactly like a white-tailed deer, so I couldn't really care that much. But yeah, look at these guys. Look at absolutely beautiful. We have our like cool kind of rustic, like I don't know, metallic fence, I guess. We also have our little duckies, little geeslings. Very cute. I don't know why they're merged into one. That's kind of concerning. There you go. Yeah, even the mom's like, what the heck are you doing? So this seems to be a hit with people. Looking good. I really like it. It's very natural. Looks very good. I also found this cool technique. I realized some people were using it online, making like the scratching post kind of like the center of a tree, and it looks really cool. And I also use the same shelter for the donkeys and the Highland cattle. As usual, if we go inside here, pretty much same thing as we had before. Same floor decoration, same table, same staple doors, all that stuff, all that good stuff. So, that is what I got. This is the entire petting zoo complete. Again, while like I mentioned, there are some touch-ups I just want to do just before, like fixing things up, like these things, like these little things, just for you guys to not worry about, just to make it look absolutely as perfect as possible. I also have to finish this indoor area, which apparently the guys are already here ahead of time. But okay, I do have to do that, so that will take a bit of work, but you'll see that finished in the cinematic shots of this video, because I'm recording the voiceover a bit earlier than I should be, but it's fine, doesn't matter. Yeah, if you want to check out the rest of these enclosures, including like the alpacas or donkeys, goats, chickens, pigs, and the Highland cattle, then check out the video in the description, or it will probably roll out, it'll probably pop up at the end of this video, which is it's gonna be soon, because that's all I gotta say. Yeah, this is all I gotta say. This is what I just wanted to showcase. I know it might be like an only half-an-hour video. It might be a quick thing, just like a quick little tour. This has been something I've been working on for a really long time, for like at least the past 2 weeks. I don't know how building 5 enclosures took more time than it did to make 7 enclosures, but I guess we'll never know. I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please subscribe. We just went over 1,000 subscribers, actually 1,100 subscribers, and we gotta keep growing. We gotta keep moving up. We gotta get to the big leagues. Let me know in the comment down below what your favorite part of the petting zoo was. What, like, if you want me to blueprint anything else that wasn't in that pack I showed earlier, like in this pack, that you want to use. If it is, then I will make a separate blueprint for it, or at least I will definitely consider it. Let me know your thoughts about the petting zoo pack, or the barnyard pack. I always call it the petting zoo pack. I don't know why. Let me know your favorite animal from the petting zoo pack. Anything you want to tell me, I'm all ears. I hope you all enjoy. Please hit the subscribe button if you want. The next episode of Planet Zoo will probably be a tropical house video. We'll probably get back to our otters and leopards in the tropical house series, because we just started that. And hopefully adding another enclosure, which I already have planned. Maybe. Let's see. But that will take some time. It is quite a big enclosure, so please have mercy with me if I don't get it done in time. So I really hope I can. I try to get this video out as quick as I could to you guys. I know it's still late, but you know, doing my best. I hope you'll enjoy. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, turn notifications on so you don't miss future videos, and I will see you guys all in the next video of Planet Zoo, Fall Guys, or whatever the next episode of whatever game we play next is. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Have a great day.